What's up, YouTubers, Men of Mayhem, and Crow Eaters? This week we'll be talking about Season 1, Episode 2, Seeds. Remember to subscribe to Unfortunate Son at the bottom and feel free to drop me a line in the comments section. Charming Deputy Police Chief David Hale has just obtained a search warrant for the crime scene where the Sons gun warehouse has been burned down by the Mayans. Matters immediately become complicated for the club when it's revealed that Tig Traeger, the Sam Crow Sergeant-at-Arms, had previously been having sex with two female laborers whose bodies were discovered in the rubble. Pending a forensics investigation, the club is now at serious risk of facing federal weapons charges should Tig's DNA be linked to the bodies found at the crime scene, which had been housing automatic firearms. Clay attempts to enlist the help of Police Chief Wayne Unser. Unlike Unser, who has spent years turning the other cheek to the club's illegal activity, Deputy Chief Hale is a straight-up cop, who has been chosen as his boss's successor in 6 months due to Unser's ongoing battle with bladder cancer. Knowing that this will throw a wrench in Clay's plans for the club, he tries to convince Unser to remain in his post and keep Hale at bay, but to no avail. To help cover up the gun warehouse fire and the bodies found at the scene, Jack suggests hitting up the town undertaker Skeeter for 2 corpses, on the condition that Skeeter gets to bang his high school crush, who also happens to be a Sam Crow hangaround, aka Crow Eater. The leather-clad blonde Easy Rider agrees to bang the creepy gravedigger if Jax bangs her first wearing his Sam Crow cut, because, this episode wasn't getting gross enough. Meanwhile, it is revealed that Mayan President Marcus Alvarez had been led to the Sam Crow gun warehouse by Nordics capo Ernest Darby, who doesn't even bother to conceal his swastika tattoos during this encounter with a very dangerous Mexican biker, and proceeds to drop only 2 racial slurs before agreeing to join forces against the Sons. Unser hires Clay to guard an electronics shipment for his side business, Unser Trucking. To get Unser's attention, Clay hijacks the truck instead and gives its contents away to the Kakuza crime family. He then promises Unser that this will continue should he follow through with his plans to retire. Now, while I genuinely don't think Sons of Anarchy had a single bad episode in its entire 7-season run, I would say that this was definitely one of the weaker, forgettable shows. Understandably, when a series is in its infancy, setup episodes like this one are necessary for the show's overall development. In a few additional subplots, we learn of Tara's bitter history with Gemma, which has only grown even tenser after Gemma basically tried to kill Wendy, one of Tara's patients. It's also revealed that Opie is facing an overwhelming amount of financial debt, as seen here when he must reluctantly ask his father Piney to lend him money. With his financial troubles and Clay questioning his loyalty to the club, Ope decides his only option to earn a decent living is through the MC. For the second straight week, we are treated to another music montage featuring Dusty Springfield's Son of a Preacher Man, performed by Katie Seagal, the actor who plays Gemma. One of the many things I love about this show is how the creators take popular classic rock songs and recruit modern, relatively unknown bands to perform them in a way that meshes incredibly with the cinematography, editing, and especially writing of the series. All in all, I would say Seeds is a fairly tepid episode, and unfortunately one of my least favorite of the series. There's little action, no hook, and centers mostly around character setup. All can be forgiven, however, because it definitely has its moments. We get our first, and definitely not last glimpse of how amusingly twisted Tig is, along with Kurt Sutter's astounding ability to maneuver comedy into such a serious show. So on that note, we'll wrap up this week's show. Thanks to everyone so much for tuning in, and hopefully I'll catch you next week for episode 1.3, Funtown.